Hello students, now this is your English class 7 chapter 1. The chapter name is The Tiny Teacher. The tiny teacher means the small teacher. So now look line by line. Name the smallest insect you have seen and the wisest. Is it the fly? No, it isn't. Is it the mosquito? No, not the mosquito. Then it must be the worm. No, none of these. It is the ant, the commonest, the smallest, but the wisest insect. The story of an ant's life sounds almost untrue, but people have kept ants as pets and have watched their daily behavior closely. So we know a number of facts about this tiny, hardworking and intelligent creature. An ant uses its feelers or antenna to talk to other ants by passing messages through them. Watch a row of ants moving up or down the wall. Each ant greets all other coming from the opposite direction by touching their feelers. There are many kinds of ants. The commonest among them are the black or red ones. We have seen them since we were children, but haven't paid enough attention to them. Where do they live? In their comfortable homes called nests or ant hills. Each has hundreds of little rooms and passages. In some of these rooms, the queen ant lays eggs. Others are nurseries for the young ones, called grubs. Workers have their reserved quarters. They spend most of their time searching for food. Some rooms serve as storehouses for this food. Soldiers have separate barracks. No worker has ever tried to live in a soldier's house. No soldier has ever gone out searching for food. No workers, no worker or soldier or cleaner has ever harmed a grub. So you see, an ant's life is very peaceful. Each does its share of work intelligently and bravely and never fights with other members of the group. Now, this is your first part of this chapter. Now let's discuss some meaning of hard word. In the first para, look in the first line, WISEST, wisest. Wisest means intelligent. Okay. Then in second line, mosquito. Mosquito means machar. Then in the fourth line, Commonest. COMMONEST. Commonest means ordinary or common. Then untrue. UNTRUE. The opposite of true, which is not true. That's called untrue. KEPT. Kept. It's the past form of keep. Keep, kept, kept. Keep means रखना. WATCHED. Watched. It is also the past form of watch. WATCH. Watch, watched, watched. Feelers. Feelers means antenna. Look, the two antenna type organs is called feelers. This one. Okay. Ant hills. Ant hills means nest of ants, where ants live. Nurseries. Nurseries means rooms meant for small babies. Reserved. RESERVED. Reserved means secure. Quarters. Quarters means room. Houses. Searching. Searching means ढूंढना. Now let me discuss the summary of the first part of your chapter, The Tiny Teacher. It is The Tiny Teacher. It is the story of an ant's life. Okay. The story of an ant's life is too remarkable to be true. An ant is the smallest and the wisest creature that we have seen. Ants have comfortable homes. Each home has hundreds of little rooms and passages. In some of the rooms, the queen ant lays eggs. Others are nurseries for the young ants. Workers have their reserved quarter. Some rooms serve as storehouses for food. Soldiers have separate barracks. Ants in a house never quarrel with each other. The ant, being a smallest insect, is an intelligent and hard-working creature. As it is the commonest insect, we know a number of facts about it. An ant has feelers, which is also called antenna. It uses them to talk and greet other ants while moving up or down the wall. The black or red ones are the commonest among them. They live in their comfortable homes, generally called ant hills, just below the surface of the soil. The ant hills located just below the surface of the soil. Each ant hill has hundreds of little rooms and passages. The queen ant lays eggs in some of these rooms. Other rooms are nurseries, stores, reserved quarters, and separate barracks, etc. Your barracks means where soldiers live. Ants of each category carry their duty sincerely without disturbing the other. This is the reason why the ant enjoys peaceful life. This is all about your first part of this chapter. Okay, so now come to the second part. The queen is the mother of the entire population of the colony. It lives for about 15 years. It has a pair of wings but bites them off after its wedding flight. This flight takes place on a hot summer day. The queen leaves the nest and goes out to meet a male ant or drone high up in the air. On its return to Earth, it gets rid of its wings and then does nothing but lay eggs. Eggs hatch and grubs come out. Soldiers guard them, workers feed and clean them, and also carry them about daily for airing, exercise, and sunshine. 2 or 3 weeks later, grubs become cocoons and lie without food or activity for 3 weeks more. Then the cocoons break and perfect ants appear. Now it's time for teaching and training. New ants learn their duties from old ants as workers, soldiers, builders, cleaners, etc. After a few weeks training, the small ants are ready to go out into the big world of work. An anthill is a home not only for ants but also for some other creatures, beetles, lesser breed of ants and the greenfly. Why do ants want these alien creatures to live in their nest? For several reasons. Some gives off smell pleasant to the ants' senses. Others give sweet juice, and some are just pets or playthings like cats and dogs to human beings. The greenfly is the ant's cow. The ants train it to give honeydew like milk with a touch of their antenna. They milk it just as we milk the cow. Have humans learned as much as ants have? Perhaps they have, but they haven't put their learning to good use. They may still learn a few things from this teeny tiny teacher: hard work, sense of duty, and discipline. cleanliness, care for the young ones, and above all, a firm loyalty to the land where they live. Now, let's discuss some hard word. In the first line, population, Population. Sorry, Population. Population means all the inhabitants of a particular place. Here, population of ants means the ants के आबादी. Wedding means शादी, means marriage ceremony. Drone means male ant. Wings, wings, wing. Feather, पंख. Hatch, फूटना, eggs hatch. Grubs means small ants. Pleasant smell, pleasant means अच्छा स्मेल वाला. LEARNED, land. It is the past form of learn, LEARN. Learn means सीखना. So, in the second part, the queen ant is the mother of entire population of the colony. Its lifespan is about 15 years. It means that a queen ant lives for 15 years. After wedding flight with a male ant on a hot summer day, it comes back to earth without wings to lay eggs. In a few days, grubs come out of the eggs. Soldier ants guard them, while workers ants feed them and help them in growing up. After 2 or 3 weeks, grubs become cocoons, which then break and perfect ants appear. Now, new ants are taught and trained by old ants. After a few weeks of training, the small ants become ready to work. And anthill is also the home of other creatures uh, green green like beetles, lesser breed of ants, and the greenfly. The ants give them shelter because they get sweet juice and pleasant smell from them. The greenfly is the ant cow. The ants give training to them to give The ants give training to them to give honeydew with a touch of their antenna. Men can learn hard work, sense of duty and discipline, cleanliness, care for the young ones from it. So, here in this chapter, the tiny teacher itself depicts the dedication of the smallest creature towards their duties, assigned them to perform in a very sincere way. But we humans, but in the other hand, if we compare an ant with a human, it is totally different. We don't perform our duty in sincere way. Being the hard-working and intelligent creature, the ant perform their duties in the form of cleaners, nurses, workers, soldiers, and trainers. They lived in an ant hills having hundreds of little rooms and passage for all ants. The queen ant only lays eggs after its wedding flight with a drone. Through the life cycle, through a life cycle, first of all eggs, then come crops, then cocoons, then ant. In this uh, in this sequence, a perfect ant appears. They learn their duties from old ant and ready to survive in the world of work, like cleaners, nurses, workers, soldiers, and trainers. They also allow other creatures to live in their ant hills to get pleasant smell, sweet juice, and playthings. People should learn many qualities from this wisest creature: hard work, sense of duty, and discipline, loyalty towards their country. Okay, so